Welcome in, everybody, to the latest edition of FLA Exposure, where we feature the stars of Fight League Atlantic. This week's episode is brought to you by Conway Customs, your number one local automotive dealing, commercial signage and decals, apparel design, and much more. Visit them at Conway Customs. That's with a Z.ca. And I mentioned we feature the stars of Fight League Atlantic. That's exactly what we've got right here. The man that stole the show last time out is with us today. It is Ben Leece, who I am extremely excited to see. Ben, I'm just going to be honest with you right off the top, man. You're one of my absolute favorite prospects in the game right now, not only for what you do in the cage, but for what you do on the mic as well. And like I said, I think you stole the show last time out, so let me just ask you, what has life been like for you since FLA 10? Because I got to imagine you got a little bit famous after that performance you had.
Oh, did I ever, John? Thank you for asking the question first. I was gonna do a little intro myself. I was gonna say, who has the first question? John, take it
away. I love it. That's why you're my favorite. You're always on point. So, what has it been like? I mean, listen, I imagine you were getting some attention that you weren't used to getting.
Oh my goodness, have I ever? I went from I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago. I said this too. I went from barely getting 50 likes on a post to getting 16,000 views and 500 likes and 400 shares. Man, these days it feels like I feel like I'm under a microscope now. Like if I take a shit, somebody's got a problem with it. If I write my name with my right hand, someone's got a problem with it. If I write my name with the left hand, someone's got a problem with it. But the love has been overwhelming too. It's been amazing. To put it short, that was a long-winded response. It's been great.
I love it, man. You don't worry about being long-winded. Now, listen, for anybody that hasn't seen the fight, they need to go see the fight. But what I can show them right now is the post-fight performance on the microphone where I think Ben Leece became a star. Let's take a look at that.
Ben Leece versus the world. Let's go, baby. Let's go. November, September, tomorrow, I'm here to fight. And one more thing. God bless. See you at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
A classic. I mean, did you have any of that in mind? Was that all off the cuff? Is that just we're seeing Ben Leece live and in the moment?
Well, majority of that was freestyled, but I always just, when I get fucking around with my buddies, I get making jokes about what I'd say after the finish and all this right in the post fight. And I've been a little fan of Michael Chandler for a little while. And I always, it'd be nice to be hanging out with my buddies. We'd be having a couple drinks. I'd whip out the Michael Chandler impression and I'd start screaming. I'd be like, Conor McGregor, if you see fit, meet me in December. See you at the top. I'm doing an impression of Michael Chandler. And I was just, how good I was feeling after that last win. And I said most of it was freestyle. 99% of that was just a freestyle. And then I was already yelling at the top of my lungs, and it just came to my mind. I'm like, you know what? I've been saying it with the boys. I just been saying it for a little while. And I said, you know what? I'll say see you at the top. But now it's almost become my thing, and I don't want it to be because it's Michael Chandler's thing. I don't want to rip him off, man. When I start making money at this thing, I'm going to get sued. He's going to be coming after me, man. I got to come up with a new saying. I got to come up with my own catchphrase.
Hey, man, I don't think he would mind you paying homage. And I actually said, look, the Michael Chandler was over there. I think there's a little Ben Rothwell mixed in there as well, man. Were you okay with that? A little Ben Rothwell mixed in with that Michael Chandler?
Yeah, Ben Rothwell, and you said it too, Beverly Hills Ninja. But it's like, I see where you get the Rothwell from, because it was like, you have seen nothing yet. He's doing the fucking, yeah. I can see that too.
I love it.
Man. And I love it. I had the Beverly Hills Ninja build going on too.
You did.
The hair and the
right,
the roundhouse kicks, the karate kicks I was hitting them with.
Right. So you saw it. That's good.
Oh yeah, man. I've watched that back many times, man. I see it 100%.
I love it. All right, well, let's talk about your journey, man. Like I said, that was a star-making performance in your debut, by the way. But look, man, I know this was a journey, right, to get here. So talk to me. I mean, how did you start down this path that you were like, hey, man, I'm going to compete. I'm going to be a mixed martial artist.
Well, I mean, I played sports all as a kid, and I was just rowdy. I just had it in me. I was a really sweet kid. I was really this and really that, but I just had the need just to really I just love fighting. That's really what it is. When I was playing hockey, I was a major goon. I would just try and take people out all the time. I was really a terrible person when I was playing hockey. I've always played rugby. I was playing rugby for the university last year, and after this fight, I'm going to play again for the university this year too. So just physical sports. I started judo when I was about 7 or 8, and I've been doing that for a while. I stopped when I was around 13. Got more into evolution, like once I started training evolution, more MMA stuff. And then here's where it gets a little crazy, John, is, there's a bit of lore to me, right? A lot of people around here, like in Fredericton, who know me, a lot of them know me from a little thing called Benny's Fight Club. I started it in high school, and I pretty much rounded up all the local teenage boys that wanted to fight. And we would have MMA fights on the back playgrounds of local places. And we had an Instagram page. Once I left, they switched it to Atlantic Fight Club. So it's pretty close to Fight League Atlantic, but Fight League Atlantic's legit and sanctioned. Benny's Fight Club was not. We had police show up to us a couple times. We'd have to scram, and guys were set to go to jail, and they'd be like, go to jail on Monday, and it'd be Saturday, and they'd be fucking fighting, and then they'd be like out on parole, man. It was getting bad. So when I turned 18, I was out pretty much. I couldn't handle it anymore. I founded it. Me and my good buddy of mine, we founded it, but it just, and I had some fights in there too. I didn't do half bad, but I didn't do half good either. I wasn't in fighting shape. I was in video game shape. I was straight out of the bedroom, 17-hour days on the video game. I was heavy, man. I was out of shape, but I just loved the fighting. And then once I left Benny's Fight Club, I really just started training a lot of Evolution, Andy Young, and I haven't stopped. It's been about 2-3 years now, and I'm here now. I'm here fighting, and I love it, man. That's why I'm good in front of the camera. I know a thing or two about fight promotion. I was running my own show for about 1.5 years. Me and my good buddy, we've done a lot.
You're a natural. For the record, let the record reflect: Fight League Atlantic does not support unsanctioned combat sports, but
Absolutely.
But I'm glad that you get it. You can see the experience. So you talked about it because I think originally you thought you'd compete as a heavyweight. The debut was catchweight. Where do you see yourself going eventually? I mean, light heavyweight. Where do you see yourself at?
Yeah, I want to go to 205. Originally I was way heavier, but the thing is, I was a heavy guy, but all the guys that were negotiating with us, all the guys that were like trying to get fights, they were all heavy too. They wanted to fight at like 250, 240, this and that. So I was just saying, sure, man, like I like pizza. I do, man. But also I've never, I'm open to 205. After the last one, I thought this next one was going to be 205. And when the contract was sent over, I was actually a bit surprised because the rumor to me was that it was going to be 205, right? But it ended up being 215, and hey, no problem, man. I've been hitting the gym since the last fight, and I put on some muscle since the last fight. So I mean, like, I'm cutting weight for this fight. Like, I'm not undersized.
Oh wow.
I'm like the weight's good and stuff. Like, there's no narrative there. I'm gonna make weight no problem.
Yeah.
But I'm stronger than I was before, and the engine has been built up. I think I can't wait for weigh-ins because I look a little different than I did 3 months ago.
That's awesome, man. And you touched on it. You'll be back in action at FLA 11. It is September 30th. It is in Pictou. Tickets are available at fightleagueatlantic.com. So if you don't have tickets, make sure you do it. We'll talk about that fight in a minute. I want to ask you mentioned the Evolution Training Center as you put on the solid flex. You mentioned the crew at Evolution, man. Talk to me about just the vibe around there, what it's like to be around, guys like Roy Gillis and Andy Young and just the crew that you have over there.
Yeah, Evolution's the gym. It's just we're real close, we're real tight knit over there. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, talking about Evolution, the boys are great. They're fucking awesome. Like, you got Rory, Devin, Seb, Andy, I'm Gilbert, Matt Swan, I could shut out the whole gym for probably about half hour, and I got a lot of love for my entire gym, and it's great. And Caden LeDrew is a guy that's coming up. Give another year, you guys are gonna be talking about Caden LeDrew. He's one of my main sparring partners right now, and he's good. He's just getting back into it. He used to train when he was younger, and give another year, he's gonna be fucking lighting people up on here. I guarantee it.
I love it. We will
shout out to Evolution.
We'll keep an eye out for sure, man. I love it. No, great crew there, man. We'll keep an eye out as well. All right, so let's talk about you mentioned the matchup. You got the contract signed. You're ready to go. Jordan Sweeney, another big boy. But man, I know you're brimming with confidence at all times. I'm sure you believe in yourself. So talk to you how you see this fight playing out.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I don't know much about this guy. And from what I see of him, he looks pretty good, to be honest. I've heard good things. He looks to be quite rugged. But man, I said it this time. I said it the last time. I'll say it this time. I expect him to be a tough opponent, but I'm a different kind of animal. And it's one thing to sit there and watch me fight and pick holes in my game, say, oh, I can get him here, I can get him here. Oh, he looks, he's kind of skinny, fat. Let's, we'll run him right over. Yeah, run him right over. But when I'm in front of you and I have game plan for you and I'm making reads actively on what you're doing and I adjust accordingly to what you're doing and I start making fun of you when you gas out a little bit and then I start stinging you the body, the head, the legs, your body starts hurting and your arms are all pumped up from panicking, then we'll see, right? But at the end of the day, I want to, I'm talking a lot. I've been talking a bit of shit, but I want to get this across too. I got a lot of respect for my opponent and Renzo Gracie PEI. I'm going to talk about this. They have a fucking amazing gym. And at the last fights, after I weighed in, Roy and I went out to Montana's that night just to refuel, right? And all the Renzo boys were there too. And each one of them came up to our table and shook our hands and wished me the very best on my fight. So I'm very competitive. And, I get talking a lot. I get talking a lot of trash on here. But at the end of the day, those guys are all awesome. And I'm coming from a place of love. That being said, man, I ain't fucking losing this fight. God bless Renzo Gracie PEI. But it's Ben Leece versus the world right now. Sorry, my phone's on 10%. But it's Ben Leece versus the world all the time.
I love it, man. I absolutely love the energy you bring. And, man, you mentioned another great crew there as well. Talk to me. I mean, it's, being the seasoned promoter that you are with Benny's Fight League. What does Fight League Atlantic mean to you? Because I'm proud to be associated with this company, man. I feel like there's so much talent out there in the Maritimes on the East Coast of Canada that really wasn't getting exposure. And, yeah, I'm biased maybe, I guess. But I am so happy that there's an organization that's featuring guys like you to get an opportunity to kind of to build a platform, to get a stage. So what do you think about what Fight League Atlantic is doing out there in the Maritimes?
I think, John, your bias is very justified because I'm right there with you, man. There's no competition. There's nobody else can fuck with Fight League Atlantic around here. Like the production quality, the amount of freaking and much they invest in the fighters. Well, look, example from last time. Well, just the fact that I'm doing an interview with you was possible because of Fight League Atlantic. That's cool enough. I'm a big fan, John Morgan. I've been watching you since I was like 12, man, and I'm 20 now. So I've been watching you for almost a decade. All the post fights, all the memes. I watched your interview with Submission Radio a few months ago. I'm a big fan. I had to get that out. Back to FLA. Nobody can mess with them. They're the best around here. And they're probably the best in the country, honestly, as far as production value. Like the commentators, the investment in the fighters. The last fight, I was an 0-0 amateur fighter, and they sent Zach Keating, a professional videographer from fucking Halifax, Dartmouth area, all the way to my house, and he was and he did that video. Me as an amateur bum. Like a lot of people that make their debuts, they got to go do smoker fights, unsanctioned bouts, and on freaking reservations and casinos, and You know, some people make their debuts in Betty's Fight Club, but when it comes down to it, Fight League Atlantic is unmatched. It's unmatched.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad that you see that because it's why I'm so proud to be a part of the organization as well, man. It's so super cool to hear you say that. Let me ask you, man. I mean, dude, you have capitalized. It's one thing for Fight League Atlantic to build the platform. It's another thing for you to capitalize on it. And I think you have done that in a big way. So what advice would you give for people that want to follow a path like yours that are maybe in obscurity, that are maybe like, just starting out and they say, man, I want to find a way to get noticed the way that Ben Leece got noticed?
Yeah, guys, the reason why my numbers are doing well is because I be myself. And I got to tell you this, like, I'm not trying to win this popularity contest, but I also know myself. Like, I'm a caring guy. I'm a nice guy. Sorry, I'll stop spinning. It's fucking me up. I'm a nice guy too, but honestly, I get a lot of fucking hate on here. And I don't give a fuck. That's really what it is. Do I get mad for 10 minutes at times when I see some shit? Maybe, okay? I admit it, maybe. But honestly, just be yourself. If you're I'm an outspoken guy, I'm sure that's pretty easy to see that. But if you're a quiet guy, just go ahead and be a quiet guy. Just be you. I feel like everybody tries to be liked a little too much. Everybody's trying to say the right thing. And honestly, man, if you're trying to say the right thing, you're not going to stand out. In this isn't like mathematics. There is no right or wrong answers here. It's, people ask what your thoughts are, what your outlook is on what you're doing, and you share it. Stop kissing everybody's ass. Stop freaking brown nosing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to sound cool. Just do you. Like, some people like me, some people aren't gonna like me. And that's that, man. I mean, I'm gonna still treat everybody nice because, like, that's how I am. But I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. So
that is awesome, dude. I'm telling you right now, at 20 years old, that to have that type of wisdom, and that's wisdom, man. Because I know it's tough, man. Trust me, as a guy who has to spend a lot of time, online and seeing things and all that, man.
Covington being a dick to you,
man, I'm telling you, and you're so right about that. I think that is phenomenal advice.
We're gonna fight someday. I'm gonna cut down to 170. I'm gonna smoke crack and cut to 170 and whoop his ass for you, Tom Morgan.
I appreciate you, Ben Leece. I appreciate you. All right, listen, man. Dude, and by the way, thank you for the kind words. A team around you, sponsors, people helping you make this happen. I know that in the beginning it takes a village around you, man. Let us know who's helping make this happen for you.
I don't have any sponsors yet. I want to thank my family for supporting me. I want to thank my girlfriend, Ashley. She's been taking care of me, and I constantly forget to shout her out on all these podcasts. And my girl, she's been giving me trouble. See, I gotta mention her. So shout out to Ashley. I love you very much. Shout out to Andy Young, Rory Gillis. I'd also like to shout out Kent Viano for helping Shark Tank in the grappling. I also want to shout out Ricky Goodall too. He's been in the town for a little bit. He has like 20 pro fights, and he's been in Evolution for a bit, and he's been helping help me get ready and give me pointers. And so I like to thank everybody there and all my training partners at Evolution, all the boys doing the Shark Tanks, Caden, Gilbert, all the boys. I want to shout out everyone. And shout out my family too.
Phenomenal. That is smart. I say you're a wise man. All right, well, listen, you said it. It's a little bit Michael Chandler influence, but you're taking this to the top, man. You're riding it till the wheels fall off. What does that mean for you? Where do you see this thing? I mean, am I going to be covering you at T-Mobile Arena in Madison Square Garden? Is that the plan, or where do you see this future for you?
Well, a boy can dream, and I would be lying if I said I didn't want to. My dream, like, if I had things my way, I'd be main eventing fucking UFC 400, 2.5 million pay-per-view buys, right? But you got to aim big and you take it step by step. I said this the last time too, right? It started with Tim Hong, that fight, and now it continues with Jordan Sweeney, September 30th at Hector Arena in Pictou, Nova Scotia. It's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. Some days you feel like shit when you're training, and other days you feel great. And it's just a matter of just waking up and coming back and doing it again the next day. So my dreams, is, I want to take this to the top, till the wheels fall off, but we take it one step at a time. We take it in stride. So
phenomenal. You cannot say any better than that. Ben, I appreciate your time, man. I was looking forward to this interview. You really made a name for yourself in that last one, and it is very great to catch up with you, my man.
Thank you. I'm coming for that picture too. Are you gonna be at weigh-ins?
I won't be at this one. Unfortunately, I got a schedule conflict. So I'll be in the pay-per-view audience watching you in this one. Trust me, you got a fan in me. I'll be watching. No disrespect to Jordan Sweeney. I'm just looking for good fights, but I will definitely be watching, my man.
All right, I'll shout you out on the post fight, man. Hey, if you coming back, are you coming back up here though?
Oh yeah, trust me, man. I love the Fight League Atlantic family. I love everything they stand for and what they're doing. And unfortunately, I just had a scheduling conflict, so I won't be able to make this one. But I will be back, I assure you.
All right, man. I'm gonna issue a challenge to you. All right, man.
Okay.
Once I get my money up and once I turn 21, I'm coming down to Vegas. And we're going to have a beer drinking contest. Going to see who can win. All right. I challenge you, John Morgan. I'll get a little belt made up and we'll make it happen. All right.
That is a challenge I will accept, my man. I won't fight you, but I will definitely drink with you.
I think it's a good one, man. I think it's a good one.
Awesome. Ben Leece, best of luck, my man. I'll be watching FLA 11 September 30th. Pleasure, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day, my friend.
You too.